here we go, my AKA Powders. Welcome to game day. The Eagles play today. I'm drinking my Americano. I already worked out. I don't know. I'm doing this because I crashed out too early last night. It's been about 2 days since I live streamed. I've been missing my morning live streams for different reasons. I do have sketchbook work to do. I have some commissions or some requests to do. They're not really commissions. They're just like me helping people out. But yeah, I'm behind. But I got to do some sketchbook work just to kind of warm up and make my way to a place in Philly to watch the Birds frustrate me. So cheers to all of that. Get yourself some sippy sip. We got some of the 31 Days of Dread coming. We have the Wildstorm sketchbook, and then we have the Avengers sketchbook. I feel like we have to hit the Avengers sketchbook. We have to kind of keep this one going. We left here. I sketched all the way up through the Guardians of the Galaxy, but let's get into Huntsman because I feel like working on with purple. You need some purple here. Let's do that. You guys know what the technique is. We pencil, and then we blast it with the markers, and we kind of do like streaky marker artwork. Which I like. I like the kinetic energy of it all. And we kind of start with the backgrounds. And for Huntsman here, let's just do like a straight up orange, and yellow background. Let's go with the colors of the LA Lakers. What a beautiful day. I hope you guys are in the area. And I know some of you guys are in Florida. We do have some Florida AKA Powders out there, but holy crap, it's beautiful here in Philly. It is like a picturesque, perfect day. My thoughts go out to anyone not in that type of weather. It sucks, I'm sorry, but it is a wonderful, wonderful day here in Philly. I wish all of you could just join me. Wouldn't that be awesome? Maybe one day we'll do the AKA Pad meetup. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. The AKA Pad meetup. Yeah, and maybe one day too, like the AKA Pad meetup would be, we get together, we collect our resources to work on our projects, because you know, many of us out there, we have comic book projects, but we actually design a system to get comics done and get comics out there and have a little bit of an audience for those books. So somewhat of a production meeting, right? But we have a meeting like that, and then along the way we will draw and just hang out. I don't know, like that's how I envision an AKA Pad meetup. Now I might need a little bit, right? Swordsman should be all purple. Is he just all purple? Let's see. Yeah, he's like all one color. So he's all one shade of purple. We'll just keep that up there. And I gotta do his little mustache. Now, right, like he got a little bit he got some attention, right, for being on the Hawkeye show. He's like I think he's like the stepfather. That was a weird insert as well, because yeah, like not that much of a payoff, and even though it's a character that people have seen, right? He's like maybe the assassin guy from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. But it's just like one of those things where you're like, oh, okay, like this guy's kind of like associated with this type of like fiction. That'll be great. That'll be great. They're going to use them. They're going to use them this way. Make it pay off this way. And I don't know, what a weird waste of a Marvel property, I'll say. was the use of the huntsman. So I'm kind of a little confused on how to get this going. Right? Because I kind of like here. Right, like so some of these, so we'll kind of like X off these. We'll X these off, and then we'll kind of. So this is kind of where, like, how dark do we go? Let's just see. We'll just kind of do. We'll just say the hell with it. But this is where, like, when you commit to just like a, yeah, I call it art direction, but when you commit to art direction, a lot of times it's like you kind of just have to see it through. And like if you have any experience with art direction, which is also a term that is just thrown, it's just thrown around. Like it's so weird the way people even online. It's like CEOs. Like people will have like an Etsy shop and they'll call themselves like a CEO, and like they don't understand that like CEOs have like board members and you get shares, like there are shares to negotiate. And it's more of a it's almost like more of a legal term. But like when you describe this to people with MBAs, they know exactly what you're talking about, which is hilarious. And but I just think like art director, people call themselves like chief creative officer, and they have no idea what that position actually is, or they call themselves like an art director. I practice art direction in my sketchbooks because if you kind of view art direction as a pursuit of the aesthetic, that's really what my position is. Like I aesthetically want these sketchbooks to echo a certain idea and attitude and be consistent, like stuff like that, and but once you commit, you can't back away. So here, like I'm kind of stuck with the purple thing because purple may not be the best color to do this aesthetic with, but we kind of have to figure it out. You have to make it work. Like to me, that's real art direction. So here, what you're kind of forced to do is you're like, all right, like we need purple. It can't just like the purple doesn't blend in a particular like favorable way. So and I'm going to bring this all around real quick for you guys. But aesthetically, you have to change things. So sometimes you make things like more furry, like we did with Beast earlier on this. Sometimes you make things more reflective, which is what we're doing. We're choosing to make Huntsman reflective to sell the idea of the sketchbook, which is kind of like streaky markers, which I love, by the way, guys. And I'll do this for as long as we can because I'm behind on everything today. I'm just behind on even just like checking things and uploading stuff. But we do have the game to get to, and we have people meeting us there. So that's like a little bit of of a big thing. Big thing. losing cabin pressure on this ink cartridge. Yep, we are out. AKA Powders. I see. We have our last ink right here. I see the sunlight. The sunlight is shining through my window right now, and it's giving me all the FOMO you can imagine. Here we go. A lot of fins. Because I sketched out Yondu earlier. That was actually a day or two ago already. But yeah, we got some fins here. A little bit of a fin gang for the Avengers. There he is. That's our boy. All right, there we go. Huntsman. Looking good, right? And then who was that? Oh, Hawkeye was next. So we can continue the purple thing. Let's give Hawkeye more of an orange background. So we got orange here. We've been documenting that the orange for the Five Below markers is actually brown, but we got a Prismacolor here. Chisel tip. And then we have Machine Man. Yeah, I kind of just went through and I did a bunch of the purple. We have the Thing, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man in his modular armor. That's the one designed by Tom Morgan. Wonder Man, which is more of the Avengers United Wonder Man, but I wanted to bring up the reference to bring in some of the comic book elements of him. And then we have Guardians of the Galaxy. So we have Yondu, Charlie 27, and I forget what his name. Who's the Chris guy? I forget his name. Luxurious. What's up, dude? What's happening, bud? Good to see you. Cheers. I got my Americano right here. luxurious. You're just in time to witness the rendering of Hawkeye. You know, that one Disney Plus character that everybody is flipping out about, right? Hawkeye has his own streaming show, right? Like that's kind of, you can say what you want about the quality, right? But I still think it's cool some of these characters like got this level of attention. Yeah, it's wild to me. It really is. It's just like, oh my god, like people are waking up to watch episodes of Hawkeye, and they're upset about Hawkeye becoming Ronin in Avengers Endgame, which was like what a waste that was, right? Like they just wasted the Ronin thing. Wouldn't it have been better if he just stayed Ronin, like through the Hawkeye show? Because the Ronin thing never made any sense in the comics, but it works very well in the context of a movie or like a series. You know, some of the comic book ideas, I hate to say it, they play out better in other medium, in other media. Here we go. Maybe we'll hit this with some yellow to kind of, I don't know, create the different lighting effects. Yeah, right. Yeah, as long as you agree with me, you can hang out. Just joking. But yeah, it's just because like kind of the Ronin stuff. I want to say because I was so into what they did with Sentry in the comics. I just think the Sentry stuff from the initial Wizard magazine article and just talking about this, maybe I should uh, track some of this stuff down to do more of a like a real comprehensive video. But from Wizard magazine dropping almost like that like planted worked article that they found the Sentry in like a file cabinet and they were going to publish him and bring him to life. Uh, from there, like to everything from the Avengers like disassembled and what Avengers Volume 3 launch or Volume 4 at that point. Really cool stuff. Like even when Bendis like first came on board with Avengers, but the Ronin stuff just kind of was like, it was like the worst part of that of all of it was Ronin because it made no sense. It made no sense. I think we need like a lighter. I need like a lighter pink. I need like a light pink here. Light pink. Here, let's see. Where is it? Do we have light pink? We don't have. Let me just. I have to use a Prisma here. There we go. And I still have to figure out a little bit of what my lines are here. A little bit too sketchy in some areas. Here we go. Maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. We'll have to figure some of this out. We'll have to do it live. And Hawkeye too, really like the definition of a fan favorite character. Because he like once he became hero, like once he went hero, people just never like let that go. Like it's like he had to be a certain way, be portrayed a certain way, act a certain way, and people just didn't care. You know, and it's just also one of those things where comic book wise, right? It's like, oh, like we're giving the people what they want, but it still doesn't quite work. Like, you know, like still like not quite as like popular. And yeah, like there's I think there's a lot to say about that. I think some characters really they don't deserve the spotlight. You know, like they deserve moments, but they need to be a part of teams and like bigger things, and they're not uh you know, like they're not just meant to have their own series and their own, or like be their own like focal point. I do believe like Hawkeye is a part of that category, but they tried like you know like comic book wise, like they the comic book gods tried everything with pre MCU Hawkeye, even down to the Ultimates. They tried to reboot him more into like this ninja assassin. Uh, they killed Mockingbird. They tried to give him this like emotional, you know, and even then, like when they brought back, I think Bendis brought back Mockingbird, which was absolute buffoonery. We maybe we need a lighter pink too, by the way, guys. Let me see here. Yeah, and Rob Liefeld and Jeff Loeb trying to insert Wolverine into the Hawkeye like mythos or tape or appeal. All right, let's try another pink. Right here. Here we go. If we need some good like light pink here. So here too, like we're going to kind of try and like make some of this a little bit more reflective. But it's like we have to, you know, because again, like because of the art direction, we're forced into uh, the materials. All right, and then we can. It's almost like we just hit it with the deep purple now. Deep purple, guys. Always listen to deep purple. There might be like too much detail to get some of these streaks going for this one. I'd love to like just during this era, like some of these guys had just like weird armaments that would just be repeated. Again, Hawkeye has these like squiggles around his uh like clavicle and his like the lower parts of his armor or costume. And I guess like it's easy for us to say like arm like it was a costume. It wasn't even so much armor. We have to kind of draw a distinction of the two. Like like there was a time in comics where characters had costumes, and that shifted to a time where they had armor. All right, we got something there, right? Yeah, dude, the North, dude, diverse. I'm so happy you came in. What it, like? Let's can we just look at the standings, right? Like that side of the league is insane, right? Like it's where's it at? Look at this side of the league: Vikings, Lions, Bears, Packers, and there's four losses. There's five losses between those teams. Like this might be like if and it's still like a season, but these teams, right? They're all playoff level teams. So are they going to dominate all the wild card slots? Like it's like you're going to have a team with an absolute winning record not making the playoffs. I mean, it's insane. Like the NFC North is absolute insanity, and I love it. That's why we like football. Like it's just the it's so dramatic, and you get it with the history. Yeah, and diverse. I don't know if you were. I was in a bar earlier this summer in Cape May that was a Packers bar, and the guy, I guess like the owner, right, or maybe like the original owner, because they had like a lot of like it looked like he was a season ticket holder. He went to a lot of games, but they had like memorabilia and pictures of him like going to these games, and they had his like certificates of ownership because like you would get a like a zero like his certificate of ownership, it was like 0.0001, and yet they had like a few of them framed at the bar, but it was like yeah, Packers like team ownership. It was like dude, the history of the Packers though is absolutely there. Like Vince Lombardi's there's a book called what's it like when pride mattered, like that Vince Lombardi biography is one of the greatest sports biographies ever written, ever conceived, ever executed. And I never realized like how much of a um like Catholic he was, like that he was kind of like a choir boy, and was really kind of like a person, like a God fearing man. Really cool stuff though. But yeah, dude, Packers just there, like the Bears, like the true right, like the Bears are winning games. Just wild stuff, wild stuff. Yeah, I'm just trying to kind of, and like I get, I messed, like we're kind of like right there, so that's a little bit consistent. Um, like it gets to the point though where I'm like, I'd rather just like do this, or rather just like live stream, draw all day. You know, I'm always like always divided. Here we go. Mr. Purple, right? I guess like purple wise, we got the Mets are still in it. The Grimace Mets are still in it. It would be wild. And look, in Philly, you're not supposed to ever root for the Mets. But holy crap, though! Like what a ascension that team has had. Very similar to the Phils 2 years ago when they had their World Series run. Or not really, like World Series run into a buzzsaw, aka a real team, the Houston Astros. Like like buzzsaw right into a wake up call. But the Padres, like every year, the Padres, like that's got to be disappointing as just for anyone that's a Padres fan. Like, and in Philly, like we're heartbroken over the uh, the Phils kind of just tanking. But holy crap, can you imagine being a Padres fan? And Padres collectively have the cooler uniforms. Like every single year, they have like really cool alternate colors. Like this year too, with those pink and powdered blue ones. Really cool stuff. I should have got one of those hats. Actually, just thinking about it. All right, looking like a boy a little bit, right? Yeah, it's and then, dude, I keep did the was there like a game earlier? Right there, these early games are the absolute worst. Uh, Jaguars were. Oh, the Jaguars are destroying the Patriots. Wow, they scored 22 points in the second. Doug Peterson lives another day. We're waiting for him to get fired from the Jaguars. Yeah, and not waiting in a good way either. Doug Peterson is a solid head coach. You kind of want to say, will he end up with the Jets? But I'm loving, dude. I'm loving the race of the North right now. Like it is, and dude, like no joke. I was telling people, I was really hot on the Packers after last year. Hot on the Packers and hot on the Steelers. Which no one had, like it's kind of funny to like. I hate the commentators, but who was it? Like Hurd. I saw a clip of him because he does like his like predictions and who's on the bubble and who's not, and he didn't even put the Steelers on the bubble of a playoff run in 2024. And you're just like, wait, huh? Like you're like, but they were a playoff team that came out of nowhere the year prior that no one really had at all on their list, and got into the went into the playoffs and scored points and did damage. And I hate some of that low ball commentary, that low hanging fruit commentary where it's just like, well, you know, they don't have this element. Like they don't have a good center. Like you hear stuff like that. It's like, it's like you don't know what a center. Like football teams are so complex where Patrick Mahomes, they liquidate their entire offense outside of Kelsey and then go on two Super Bowl runs with Kelsey and Pachenko, and no one had and no one can tell you who Sky Moore is. It's like, come on, guys. Like it's just too much. I can't deal with it. Here we go. Hawkeye, everyone. Welcome to Marvel Comics. Here's Hawkeye. Here we go. A lot of these is like my first official time drawing some of these characters. I'm not sure if I ever did even Hawkeye as a full character shot. I think I've done other headshots of him before in other sketchbooks. Maybe for I'm trying to think, maybe for Jacktober, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, and then next up too, it's Machine Man, right? I know I drew him for Jacktober one year. But all right, AKA Patters, I have to get going. I know. I'm sorry. It's been only been every yeah travel everywhere. Yeah, dude. Subway Series 2.0, right? That would be nuts. But dude, it would still be if it's Yankees Dodgers, dude, the history of both of those franchises, uh, I'm all in. I want Yankees Mets. I'll be happy with Yankees Dodgers. I would follow that for sure. Yeah, a little bit of the Bart Sears, right? What are the Bart Sears elements? Kind of the thicker lips. Yeah, still, I always emulate Bart Sears, just mentally, but I'm still trying to figure out the characteristics of this sketchbook here. But I think we're getting it. It's not even a sketchbook; it's a notebook. And then I have to finish the Guardians, and all the Guardian ones I want black. I just want completely black backgrounds for all of them. To do Space Stars and a lot of George Perez stars, I will say, because George Perez did the best stars in comics and still has them. Um, but yeah, Bart Sears, we love him. Yeah, it's it's hard to take it away from Detroit though. I think Detroit is a I and what I think if Detroit gets into another deep playoff run, they will be a quote unquote a team of destiny, which I hate when that's designated, but it will feel like it. Yeah, I do plan to watch that though. It's on Prime for what, $12. I'm definitely grabbing it, for sure, and we'll do a podcast episode. I want to potentially do that for the 31 Days of Dread. But this week, you're right. This is the last full week of the 31 Days of Dread, and I wanted to kind of do a little bit of a dump. So there's going to be a lot of movie talk coming this week. All right, guys, I have to go. It's game day. Love you.